Alright, continuing Commission Independent Schools, 6E20041, delivery of programs through non-traditional assessment modes and methods. 1. Introduction. Additional responsibility for the maintenance of the high standard for the quality of the Commission, also for the encourage the responsibility and innovation for the post-secondary to meet the successful needs of the creative design programs delivered in the non-traditional ways. And intention for the Commission that stand for the procedure for the shall for the development of the quality and innovative programs emerging new fields of study shall not unreasonably hinder the educational innovation and competition. A institution offering non-traditional program studies shall document the instruction method used for the achievement of the stating of the stated learning objectives. That all non-traditional instruction shall consist with the applicable educational skills and experience needed for the student enrolled in the program. B. Institution other than non-traditional programs of study employ with the innovative delivery systems and innovative methods of the carrying on the research teaching with the emerging field of the studies and shall demonstrate that they will achieve the intent with each of the standards contained with the Rule 6E2004 Florida Administration Code for the appropriate level of licensure for the annual reviews. C. In addition, providing with the Commission documentation required for each of the standards contained in the Rule 6E2004 of the Florida Administration Code shall show the following of the intent with each of the standard will be met with a non-traditional program of the delivery system. The institution shall also furnish each of the course to be offered 1. Delivery inventory of the equipment supply to be provided with each of the student, a detailed description of how each of the program will be conducted, including submission of the detailed course option, outlines, procedure for the distribution, materials, examination, evaluation of the student work, timely response to the student questions and comments, record keeping appropriate students serve the technical support. The institution holding license is made with accreditation defined in subsection C 6E20023 with the Florida Administration Codes may substitute proof of the such accreditation in good standing with the requirement of Rule 6E20041 Florida Administration Codes. 2. Awarding with the credit the unit for the credit is applied with the award for the credit of potential non-traditional programs may be delivered from the combination of any of the following. The units of the credits are earned with the transfer of the post-secondary institution with the credit congruent with the applicable to the receive the institution program with the validated with the form the receiving the institution successful completion of the challenge examination standardized test demonstrating learning credential level in subject specific subject matters as areas. 3. Prior learning is validated, evaluated, and confirmed with the qualified instructor received the institution. B. The graduation requirement for the non-traditional degree programs will include the provision of general education appropriate to the type of degree specified with the Rule 62004 of the Florida Administration Code. Doctor of the philosophy of the degree, commonly abbreviated PhD, shall not be offered and awarded for the distance of non-traditional learning without the appropriate accreditation by the accreditation agency recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. C. At least 25% of the unit required for the non-traditional degree shall be given the institution award for the degree, but it shall not be derived with the combination transfer of the examination experiential learning. However, the credits earned by the active U.S. active military members are excluded. Requirements due to the transit nature of the service. The credit awarded for the prior experiential learning shall follow the requirements of subsection 5 of this rule and shall not exceed 25% of the units required for the completion of the program. 3. The direct contact instruction institution licensed to operate in Florida wishing to offer the programs in the course throughout the directed individual group study using the direct contact instruction shall be described in the teaching and learning methodology to be used. Shall submit an illustrative course for the outlines competency with all other data documentation required in Rule 6E2004 Florida Administration Code for the appropriate level licensure for the subsequent annual reviews. 4. Indirect contact instruction. Institutions licensed to operate in Florida wishing to offer the programs and courses through individual or group study for the meditative assisted with the telecommunications, computer augmented educational services, fast mile transmission, or postal services. Any other technological method shall describe the teaching and learning method to be used for the such submit illustrative course of the outlines competency, all other documentation rule in 62004 of the Florida Administration Code, appropriate level of licensure for all the subsequent annual reviews. Being in addition with other requirements, Rule 6E2004 Florida Administration Code, the institution offered the instruction correspondence shall employ a sufficient number of the qualified instructors to ensure the academic content is designed for the qualified facility, but that each of the student lesson the project examination paper is evaluated with the qualified instructor. The instructor responds to the evaluation of the student with a reasonable time of the disclosure of the student. For the programs require the deployment of the manual and technical skills such as equipment and tools that the institution must ensure that the student has the opportunity for the game of practical hands-on experience for the appropriate the master skill. The experience was whenever the game shall be documented in the student file, then should be done under the proper supervision with the meaningful evaluation competency outcome. Technical aspects must be design qualified technicians credited for prior learning. An institution may grant credit to a student for prior explorational learning only if the following: the prior learning equivalent to the learning of the student that is enrolling. Prior learning is demonstrated to provide balance between the theory and practice for the academic program, verifiable and master appropriate skill for the vocational course for the program, and for the course for the program requiring combination of theory skill for the prior learning of is demonstrated to provide appropriate combination. C. The credit awarded for the prior learning directly relate for the student course for the program and apply with the satisfaction of some of the credential requirements. D. The college university level of the learning of the credit which shall be documented to the student writing with the validated with the performed evaluated faculty qualified in specific subject area while also certain with the college and university level of learning of the student and prior learning. The equivalent how many credits for that toward the degree may be granted for the prior learning. The faculty evaluating prior learning shall prepare the written report, including all the following, which the report shall be retained with the college university for the review and the visiting of the commission representing you upon request. 1. The documents of the student files on the faculty rely on determining and confirming with the nature of the student's prior learning. The basis for the determination prior learning is equivalent to college or university level learning and demonstrates a balance between the theory and practice. And 3. The basis of determining the college and university level of prior learning is equivalent to the proper number of the credits to be awarded toward the degree based upon the prior learning. No more than 25% of the units required for the validated with the institution's internal review process for a degree shall be awarded prior to the experiential learning. 6. The credits are compressed for the time and institution license for the floor, which offer the course of the programs in the compressed time shall be evidence for the commission that the intent of all the standard licensures are set forth in Rule 6E2004 Florida Administration Code shall be met. 7. Instructors institution licensed to operate with the Florida wishing to offer the non-traditional programs courses shall employ with the contract appropriate with the qualified instructor sufficient to number to provide with the instruction, student interaction, learning outcome evaluation necessary for the institution to provide and to document and achieve the state purpose of the statement. For students to achieve the specific learning objective of the competencies required for each of the programs to be offered, they shall be responsible for the license of an institution validated each instructor competency for the use of the interactive electronic media program, the distance learning program, effectively to provide training and the use of the delivery system if needed. 8. The library and other learning services resources institution licensed to operate in Florida wishing to offer non-traditional programs of courses shall document the commission and how they provide, ensure, and maintain access for all the students for the information resources services appropriate to the support of each program of the course. RIP institution shall document how they provide the ensure the maintain security examination of the papers. The institution shall collect the use of the students' evaluation of the content delivery services. 9. The laboratory experience for the case for the courses for the experimental clinical services. Other courses requires hands-on experience. Each licensed institution wishing to offer the non-traditional program shall document with the commission prior to the program approval. The agreements have been made to ensure that the requests of the laboratory field equivalent experience is available to the and you for the consistently to by every enrolled student. Such experience shall be documented. The student file shall occur under the appropriate supervision, meaning of evaluation and competency outcome. 10. The catalog. Each institution licensed in Florida wishing to offer the non-traditional program course shall comply with all the requirements of Rule 62E10032 and 6E2004. In addition, shall be published with the information in the catalog where printed with the electronic pertaining to any of the following. Institutional policies procedure for the award of credit for prior learning, including confirmation, validation, assessment policy, procedure, provision for appeal, decision, limitation for the number of the credits that may be awarded in this manner, and all of the fees that the students may be required to pay. B. The institution policy regarding the acceptance for the credits earned with the student's successful completion of the challenge of the examination, standardized testing, acceptable scores of each of the whereas how many times the examinations may be repeated to achieve the acceptable score, limitation of the number of the credits that may be awarded merit, and all fees that the students may be required to pay. If the institution offers the instruction correspondence schedule for the number of progress for the completion of the course program, and all fees the students may be required to pay. 11. Student records. Institution wishing for the non-traditional programs course for the shall maintain a file and each student shall be available to the commission upon request each location translated into English conform with the general requirements of Rule 6E2004 Florida Administration Code containing the following. All documents evidence for the student prior learning upon the instructor institution-based award of any of the credentials. For direct individual group contact instruction, copy of the learning agreement with the learning contact signed by the instructor for the administrative evaluator with agreements with the contracts. Academic transcripts shall be maintained, kept current with the retained permanent for each of the student institution offered the non-traditional course program that shall adapt with the policy the requirement with the credit awarded for the prior learning, including internal credit of the challenging examination, identify the student's academic transcripts Institutions shall adopt the policy regarding the length of the time of the retention, recording of the documentation, evaluation, assessment, and awarding the non-traditional credit retention time. Still be sufficient responsible future review of the confirmation of the student work. Fair consumer practices are described in Section 1005-04, 1005-34, and Rule 6E 10032, and shall be filed with the institution in all aspects of its operation. Rulemaking Authority 1005-22 1E1, 1005-31 3. Florida State Statute Law implemented 1005-31. Florida State History News, October 13, 1980, formerly 6E2041, amended November 27, 1988, and June 20th, 1995, May 25th, 2003, July 23rd, 2007. All right, your medical clinic clerk programs, we're going to skip that.